Another day, another walk, another easy fat loss tip. This one is number 3. And following on from my previous 2, which was number 1, water intake. Just gotta get run over it. So number 1, water intake, and number 2 is exercise. So number 3 is where you're gonna have to start counting numbers a little bit to ensure you tweak your nutrition accordingly, and it involves calorie counting to an extent. Now I'm not one to count calories. I've done before where I've really wanted to cut and get a bit leaner, or if I've been working out in the gym, I want to put on a bit of muscle, just ensuring I've been putting on, taking in enough food to put on the size or strip the fat. So with regards to fat loss, which is what these videos are about, you're gonna have to start ensuring you hit a calorie deficit. Now, to hit a calorie deficit, you need to know exactly what your calorie intake is on a day-to-day basis. So you need to calculate your basal metabolic rate, which is the amount of calories you need on a day-to-day basis to just survive, basically. So if you go into Google, type in BMR calculator or calorie calculator or something along the lines of that, you'll be able to find a calculator on there which will just ask you for a few figures. It's usually age, height and weight, and it'll tell you roughly the amount of calories you need on a day-to-day basis to function. Once you've got that number, you want to aim for roughly about 200 to 300 below that number. So to maintain weight, you'll be hitting that number. To gain a bit of weight, if you're looking to build a bit of size, you want to go about 200 to 300 above that, and to strip fat, you want to go 200 to 300 below that. So that's roughly what you need to aim for. As well as that, I want to talk about protein intake. Now, protein intake is essential. If you're working out in the gym, you're going to tear the muscle fibers. You need to rebuild them in order to build lean muscle. The more muscle mass you have, the more fat you're going to burn. So to repair lean muscle mass, you need an adequate amount of protein on board. So protein intake, roughly you want to be aiming for around 1.2 grams to 1.5 grams per kilograms of weight. Okay, so about 1.2 to 1.5 grams. So if you hit that number, get enough protein on board, as well as your calorie deficit, which is 200 to 300 calories below your basal metabolic rate, you're going to burn fat. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people don't take protein on board, or adequate amounts of protein on board, and a lot of people don't really hit the amounts of calories that they need to. A lot of people are under eating. So you go into the gym, you're training, and you're not taking enough food on board to actually repair the muscle tissue and to function at an optimal level to actually repair properly. So yeah, around 200 to 300 below your BMR, and 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein intake per kilogram of body weight. Start off with that, and you can always change it to per pound of body weight, which is a lot more, but obviously as you get leaner, as you build more muscle mass, you want to be taking more protein on board, and you'll find that your calorie intake will start to go up higher as well. But for now, get on Google, check out your BMR, and you can instantly start working 200 to 300 below that. If you're not really seeing much results, go 300 to 400 below that, maybe even 500 calories below your BMR. But don't go too low, because you want to make sure you're taking enough calories on board. You don't want to feel like shit, and you want to make sure you have enough energy and you're feeling alert, strong and ready to go each day. So that's the next tip. Calories protein. Okay, tip number 3, calories and protein. Cheers, guys.